This is Management Principles, and this section is Managing Human Resources. Human capital, the value of the combined knowledge, experience, and capabilities of employees, may make the most significant contribution to the success of a firm of any of the factors of production. Its management is a competency referred to as human resource management, and it describes the design and application of formal systems to ensure the effective and efficient use of human talent to accomplish organizational goals. A separate function called strategic human resource management refers to how the skills of current or available employees can be used in the design of a business in order to create a durable competitive advantage. In strategic human resource management, the goal is to create a business competency. In human resource management, the goal is to make the best use of human talent to accomplish already existing organizational goals. Human resource management is impacted by a number of things: the economy, the labor market, the operative set of laws and regulations that affect hiring and employee management practices. In the U.S., there are a number of laws and regulations that cover topics such as equal opportunity and discrimination, compensation and benefits, and health and safety of employees in the workplace. There are several that are key for any manager. Title VII of the Civil Rights Act prohibits discrimination on the basis of race, religion, color, sex, meaning gender, or national origin. The Americans with Disabilities Act requires reasonable accommodations be provided for the disabled to perform normal duties. The Family and Medical Leave Act provides 12 weeks of unpaid leave for personal or family medical emergencies and at the birth or adoption of a child. The Equal Pay Act prohibits differences in pay based on gender for substantially equal work, and the Occupational Safety and Health Act establishes safety and health standards in organizations. Of course, there are many others, and it's difficult to get some consensus on a top 5 list, but I think you would not be able to find anyone who would deny that these in particular are significant pieces of legislation. Employees are, hopefully, engaged with their work and with the people who are their colleagues. The set of expectations that an employee has concerning the terms of his or her employment goes well beyond anything that can be documented in a contract or an employee handbook. These expectations form a psychological contract with an employer that is based in part on trust. Loyalty and effort level, for example, cannot be adequately addressed in a contract. Similarly, employees develop a set of expectations about a job that are common to the workforce employed by a firm. This set of expectations forms a social contract, where employees as a group accept a certain level of responsibility, partner in the business development, and agree to participate in ongoing training and development. The employer, in return, may agree to create and develop a career path, or assignments that are challenging and interesting, and an opportunity to participate in setting the direction of the firm. Human resource management includes planning, recruiting, and selecting the right people, training and developing those people, assessing their performance, paying appropriate compensation and benefits, and making certain that the right number of people are in the right places in the organization. Last but not least, they oversee the termination process for employees who are not meeting expectations. Human resource planning involves the forecasting of human capital needs and matching individuals with expected vacancies. It involves an assessment of job characteristics and skills and the people currently employed and available to be employed to match those criteria. Recruiting or talent acquisition is the process of defining the desirable characteristics of the applicants and creating an effective screening mechanism to ensure that the optimal candidates will be offered the available positions. It's a matching process. It begins with a job analysis that defines the essential duties, tasks, and responsibilities of a job and uses it to create a job specification that outlines the knowledge, skills, education, physical abilities, and other characteristics needed to perform the job well. In the selection process, employers assess the applicant's characteristics to determine whether there's a good fit between the applicant's abilities and the needs of a job. It involves an applicant providing information to the employer, usually by means of a form, so that applicants can be more easily compared, and then have one or more interviews. The first interview is likely to be structured so that the top tier of candidates are all asked the same questions and the responses can be compared. Cognitive, personality, and physical tests may also be administered. A person applying for a marketing job may, for example, be given a writing test as part of the process. In the U.S., although not in all states and not in most foreign countries, recruiters may use the internet to research candidates. It is perhaps best to keep postings on social networking sites employer viewable. In terms of training and development, more than half of the employed adults in the U.S. engaged in some form of training or education last year, something that reflects the rate at which job requirements and characteristics are changing. Training can occur in-house by existing staff, by use of consultative help, or by contract with educational institutions. Training can also occur through professional associations. Human Resources also has the responsibility to organize performance appraisals, which are generally done by an employee's direct manager. The goal of appraisal systems is to keep the evaluations fair and unbiased, and as objective as is possible. Compensation is one of the most critical jobs of Human Resources. Based on skill and educational requirements, a prior record of accomplishment, job requirements and expectations, and many other things specific to each job, the job of Human Resources is to pay enough, but not too much, to hire, retain, and motivate employees. One of the most commonly used methods for determining what the cost of appropriate labor is in the market is to see what other firms are offering for people of like qualifications. The free market adjusts to supply and demand fairly quickly, and so this is a relatively reliable source of data. Compensation can also be based on a flat rate, a salary, or based on performance, for example, a commission or incentive bonus. Benefits, like wages and salaries, are determined based on labor market characteristics. In an economic downturn, benefits as well as wages and salaries may recede. In a competitive market, as happened with information systems people during the tech boom, both salaries and benefits can also rise quickly. Finally, the adequacy of staffing is a human resource issue. The goal is to have enough people, given that there are some who will naturally turn over, be on vacation or ill, to keep the organization adequately staffed. Too many resources can be costly for the organization, just as too few can cause stress and breakdown. Now, this discussion of human resource management was necessarily brief, and for people who are interested in studying the topic in depth, the school offers a course in this area. One additional aspect of managing human capital falls under the topic of managing diversity, which is the subject of the next audio file. Good night.